Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live. It is me, Joey P. Joe P's up here with me, of course, is the Welsh. And it's all of you, the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks, here on our YouTube channel. And, of course, on our Twitch, twitch.tv/fantasypros. That's the place to be to watch us live every single Monday through Friday. So join our Twitch, follow, subscribe, use your Amazon Prime account to do that. Get rid of those nasty commercials because football season's around the corner. And the Welsh, myself, Scott Bogman, will be here doing football in August before you know it, as well as all the baseball goodness. And you got the best ball live streams, everything on the Twitch. Plus, of course, our YouTube, Fantasy Pros MLB. Drop your comments there, subscribe, ring the bell till it goes ding, and you might win yourself our July giveaway. That's right, the Juan Gonzalez, Juan Gon himself, number 19. It's autographed by Juan Gonzalez. It is Pristine Auction certified, so pristineauction.com is the place to get all your cool jerseys and sports memorabilia. Check it out today. And Welsh, somebody brought up to me yesterday about the Juan Gonzalez error card, the one that had the reverse. I don't know if you remember that. I think it was 89 Donruss, I want to say. 89 or maybe 91. It's one of those early 90s, late 80s Donruss rookie cards where Juan Gonzalez is one, and then it's like a reverse negative and his number's backwards in the other. That was one of the better error rookie cards. Do you recall this?
No, I don't. It's kind of, well, nowadays they do purposeful error things and image variations, but there's only one image or error card that I really recall from post or pre 2000, and that is the Billy Ripken card, which I have actually right back here with the bat. That's about the only one I could
dropped it in the chat. So yeah, it's 1990. So I knew it was in that range. It's not going for nearly as much as it used to.
Oh yeah, I see that. Whereas his number looks backwards relative to the jersey.
His number is backwards because they reversed the negative on there for some odd reason. So pretty hilarious there. Good times. And of course, good times here, Major League Baseball. Now, starting with the headlines. Look, Joe Stradamus is always going to keep it real. For things that I'm right about, I'm going to say I'm right about it. And things when I'm wrong, I'm going to own it and say when I'm wrong about something. And I was wrong about Jacob deGrom, and I couldn't be happier to be wrong about Jacob deGrom. I'm a fan. I love the guy. He is near and dear to my heart. But I suffered, not just as a Mets fan, but as a fantasy manager with Jacob deGrom year after year after year, and it's been 5 years since he's been relevant. So the fact that he's been on this streak that he has been on this year is spectacular. Another start against the Orioles. Another dominating performance for him. 5 hits over 6 innings of work, gave up 2 runs. He is now 9-2 on the season. He has a 2.13 ERA, a .89 WHIP, 100 strikeouts to 21 walks, and 101 in the third innings. He gets the Angels this week. Shout out to Joe Rico, who might have been the highest of anyone I know on deGrom. He was feeling a little bit, a little shaky in the first couple starts there in April. But man, has he been great. I think it's a distant memory, Welsh, too, of the conversation of, we might have to put deGrom on the IL here mid-season. That ain't happening. He's pitching way too well right now. So it's just a matter of can the Rangers stay relevant in July?
Or the old Jacob deGrom's got to be a closer. That's kind of gone. And what's
a discussion that made sense at the time, I will say, in order to keep him healthy and away from Tommy John, but you couldn't do that anyway. It was inevitable.
Well, and to what you were saying he's been relevant. He's just been hurt. And that's why that should he be a reliever, blah, blah, blah. The thing that they did, and it's really interesting. I was just looking, if you remember me saying this early in the season, you notice that deGrom had some usage differences, but he also had some velo down. You saw that he was ticking down on some of his velo. His velo's all back up. So clearly they kind of went early season. Let's throw a little bit more change-ups while not throwing your fastball as much or as hard, slider not as hard. And that has evened out because everything is back to within, point whatever fractional points of where it should be as far as velocity on the slider and four seam. But that's what's led to the K percentage being lower than usual, but it hasn't led to any weird result stuff. I mean, yeah, I guess the strikeouts are a little bit less. You're seeing some of those weirder games, but at the end of the day, he's got a sub-3 expected ERA with his 2 ERA, walking around 5%, which again, is just a tiny bit more. That's the use of the changeup, but it looks like whatever they've done and maybe the downtick has helped keep the health finally. And looking here, this is the first time he's hit 100 innings since 2019. This is 2019, the first time he's got to 100 innings. And everything looks absolutely phenomenal right now. So I think they found some secret sauce. And hopefully now that things are kind of back up, he's going to be able to help maintain that health. And we talked about it on Betting Pros, Rico and I, that he's still laying into his Jacob deGrom Cy Young bet. I don't like it because I think Tariq Skubal is the most.
No, it's
I think he's an MVP candidate at this point.
I agree, but he's not going to win that either.
Well, yeah, we talk about it on there. Like everything is contingent. That's my big argument. Anybody that's not Judge is contingent on Judge being hurt. But if Judge were to, like, let's say, get hurt and disappear for a little bit, I don't think it's a shoe-in that a guy like Cal Raleigh would just necessarily run away with it, especially if a guy like Tariq Skubal, Tariq Skubal wins 20-plus games here. He's got way over 200, which he has 10 right now in 17 games, so it's not ridiculous. 20-plus games, he could be in for that. But he's locked for the Cy Young. But you've got some stuff floating out there that, like, if something were to happen to him, Jacob deGrom would be that, that silent guy that walks in because, oh my God, he gets to 150 innings. We've always said this. If he gets to 150 innings, he's a Cy Young candidate. And that stays, but just Tariq Skubal would have to not be there. So deGrom has been amazing. They found the secret sauce, and thank God.
Who was the last guy to win 20 games?
Ian Kennedy's who comes to my mind, but it's probably not right. He won like 20-something with the Diamondbacks.
That's an interesting one. Drop it in the chat, everybody.
If someone knows, that would be good. But that's my argument on there. And again, like, it's only in that if, I guess, Judge would have to fall off. Cal Raleigh, he's got like a 5.5 WAR. Tariq Skubal's in the 4s. But if Skubal were to win 20-plus games, have like a low 2 ERA, like I think he's in that. I think he's in that discussion if Judge doesn't exist.
Yeah, the last pitcher to win 20 games for each team. I'm looking for this. This is a fun thread if this is true. Spencer Strider in 2023. Okay, so it wasn't that long ago. I thought it was Strider. I could have.
Okay.
Can this be true? This doesn't look right to me. Ian Kennedy.
Some of these don't look like. Did Kyle Wright really have 20-something wins?
I don't know. Apparently, yeah. But I'm looking at this. Garrett Cole in 2019. That sounds right. Justin Verlander 2019. That also sounds correct. So those are the last couple guys.
It's a lot of 20-win games, by the way, in the last like 5 or 6 years. That's way more than I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to dive a little bit on this one. By the way, speaking of owning L's, I owned mine at the top of the show because I wanted to set a good precedent. Because Welsh, in the words of Finner,
nope.
How about that Zac Gallen? Huh? Here, McGrady saying, I dropped Zac Gallen last start and he decides to be good tonight. He's got a great record in his career against the San Francisco Giants, by the way. 2 runs, 1 earned, 10 strikeouts, 7 innings in a win over the Giants. Welsh, what was this like for you watching this? Because you want the Diamondbacks to win. You're a Diamondbacks fan at heart. But yet at the same time, this has got to be just grinding torture to watch him be 10 strikeout performance, Welsh. 10.
Not today, Satan. We're not doing the Gallen thing. I'm not accepting any L's yet. Listen. I have said from day one, Zac Gallen's one of my favorite pitchers. He's a super smart guy. He has talent. He, like, when things are working, that's always been the thing. When things are working, he's crazy. That knuckle curve is a disgusting pitch that he can throw for strikes. Changeup, he can throw first pitch strikes on his changeup. It's a great pitch. His fastball is the thing that has stunk, and it's still stinks. It's still not a super great pitch. He did sit like 93, which is about where it usually is, but he could not throw the curve and the changeup for strikes at all. Listen to the zone percentage: 15% on the knuckle curve, 27% for the changeup. You want to know why it was effective? Because he was throwing the fastball for strikes, 65% zone percentage, and the Giants just ate that up. I want Zac Gallen to be successful. I'll take the L on wanting to draft him this season, but I don't think one start gets us back into, Zac Gallen. Give me a couple of them, because his problem all season long is when he can't throw or trust the fastball, those secondaries start walking guys, and then guys are sitting on the fastball and banging it around. I need 3 or 4 starts before I think Gallen is back. I know people, you're not going to probably get that. You got to if you want to go make a move for Zac Gallen. We know like who he's been, but I've just been watching him this year, and one start isn't going to change my mind because he's done this a couple times this year.
Does 2 more starts change your mind, and does it change the mind of a contending team who might take a shot on him?
Definitely changes a content. If he can show some consistency over 2 more starts, 100% changes the trade value of him. I think it'll change my mind a bit, but like I look
comeback player of the year in the same year.
By the way, there's no H. He's only ZAC. But yeah. I'm just not here for it because like there's nothing in that stuff that he was throwing there where I'm like, wow, man, he was throwing his curveball for a lot and guys were missing it. No, he got a ton of curveballs whiffed on, 53% whiff rate on his curveball, and none of them were in the zone. So the Giants were just hacking at that thing. I'm shocked that his fastball was as successful as it was, but it had an average exit velocity of 97 against it. So I think Gallen's still going to get banged around. I'm not fully buying it, but go pick him up and maybe don't start him in the next one. See if he can get out there. 100%. He does. He feels like he's 37 years old.
He does feel like he's been around a long time. I had to verify this because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So here's the list of guys who won 20 games in a major league season since 1978. Spencer Strider in 2023, Julio Urias in 2021. And I kept saying that can't be true. And yeah, it was. I mean, Julio Urias, man. Wow. There's a throwback for you. Garrett Cole and Verlander 19. Corey Kluber, Blake Snell in 2018. Rick Porcello, J.A. Happ, and Max Scherzer in 2016. Jake Arrieta in 2015. Johnny Cueto and Adam Wainwright in 2014. Max Scherzer again in 2013. Jared Weaver in 2012. R.A. Dickey, I remember that year. The big Cy Young.
Where's Dickey the Ian Kennedy one? He won 23 games.
Ian Kennedy, 2011.
Wow, is that 11? Good Lord.
2011, 14 years ago. 14 years
That felt
ago.
like that was like 2018 or 17 to me. Jeez.
This means you're getting old, Welsh.
I am.
CC Sabathia and Roy Halladay in 2010. Nobody for 5 years before that. Nobody. Dontrelle Willis in 2005. Johan Santana in 2004. Esteban Loaiza for the White Sox in 2003. How about that one for a rando? Jamie Moyer in 2003. Also Barry Zito in 2002. Then in the 98 season, you had Rick Helling, John Burkett in 1993 with Bill Swift, John Smiley in 91, Brett Saberhagen in 89, Teddy Higuera in 86, Mike Boddicker in 84, Gaylord Perry in 1978. So those are the last guys to win 20 games in a season for every major league team. So
what's interesting about that is like there's definitely way more 20 game winners than
This is the last one for each team.
Okay, and then I even remember.
It's just kind of fun to think like, oh my God, how even in 1 year though had just so very, very few guys. I mean, the Urias one was the one I totally forgot, Welsh. I totally forgot that one.
I think it can maybe like, down talk a little bit of what I'm saying with Tariq Skubal, but at the end of the day, the logic, I think all the logic, and again, you can watch the Betting Pro show we do, almost every award right now is contingent on like some disaster happening because Ohtani is so easy. Judge is so easy. Skubal is so easy. But in that MVP race, it's like my idea is if a Judge is hurt and the Mariners are only living off of Cal Raleigh and they come back down to earth a little bit. Tariq Skubal's on the team with the most wins in baseball. He is proving to be the most valuable player. He had 20 plus wins, a low 2 ERA, top 1 or 2 in strikeouts. It's almost like a triple crown pitcher who's made their team be the best in baseball, who is getting to the playoff, winning their division. That's the thing where like if Judge were gone and Cal Raleigh and the Mariners were not make the playoffs, it's like, do you have a non-playoff team catcher or a pitcher who is like at the top of every single category making their team better? That's kind of the logic of it. It's all illogical though, because all the like I said, this isn't even a fun race. None of these races are fun. The AL Rookie of the Year is Jacob Wilson.
I think the Cy Young in the National League is kind of fun now.
That's the closest one. That's it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I think the National League Rookie of the Year could be fun depending on what Mizraowski.
It's not very fun. The names
are going to be fun for me when I got him at 10-1.
Who?
Mizraowski.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he is minus money right now. He's minus 170.
Minus 120. He has another good start. Who knows? That might be very fun for me. But
very fun for you.
The 20 wins, man. That is it's one of those anomalies you see here in the major league seasons. It's also kind of funny just to remember some of these names. Dallas Keuchel also did it in 2015. Remember that? Oh man. Look, here's Zac Gallen in 2023, 17-9 in 2023. Remember when Zac Gallen was fighting for Cy Youngs? Remember that? Well,
I do. They were fighting for a World Series. I was there.
Unbelievable. All right, let's go. Some of these names too, as you start like Domingo Herman.
Oh yeah, no, these are it's real, especially when you get into the
wins.
like mid 2000 or like the like
Oh,
2005 to
so fun. We
2015.
could do
It's
that
great.
all day. But
Yeah.
and I see you, Chad. I see what you've been talking about. We'll get to it in the show. That's a teaser. Yamamoto held the White Sox to 1 run. Ohtani hit another home run. So good day for the Dodgers. What else is new? Edward Cabrera, he shut out the Twins for 7 innings. Continues to just inflate that trade stock every single start. Struck out 6, walked 1. He was one of our buy lows a couple weeks ago. Hopefully you listen. Grant Holmes, another really good performance for him. 10 strikeouts, and he has picked up things quite a bit. That injury to Chris Sale I thought was really going to hurt this rotation, but really Grant Holmes has stepped it up in the last 4 or 5 starts. He's been terrific.
You're 100% right about that. 3.5 ERA right now, a sub-4 expected ERA, and almost 30% K percentage. We kind of talked about this, I think, yesterday on the show, and we did it on the betting show as well. Braves are like really far out of the wild card right now. I think it's like 11 games divisionally. They're like 7, 8, 9 games. Maybe it's 11 out of the wild card. What if the Braves start selling? Grant Holmes might be. I don't know if they go and sell Chris Sale. I know it's probably on the injury thing here in a little bit, but Sale was just put on the 60-day.
Yeah,
that's brutal. That could be a season ender.
Mid-August. That's
if you lose Sale and you don't pick up games, and you want to start kind of soft selling, and soft selling is still playing for next year, where soft selling is like you keep your main pieces, but maybe you trade Marcell Ozuna. Maybe you trade Grant Holmes right now on the
Grant
hotness.
Holmes also
because
pitched out of the bullpen last year too, so that's a guy who can give you both. The Cubs should be all over him. But you're right; they're 7.5 out of the wild card right now in the National League.
Yeah, that's a tough
the
thing. The
Marlins are ahead of them. So just for perspective,
like they could get there, but if they don't start picking it up in the next 2 weeks, they legitimately have to consider themselves selling just a couple pieces, maybe looking for next year. And that's why I just really think Grant Holmes could, maybe they want to hold on to him next year, but like maybe he could get a haul.
Speaking of the Braves, we almost got a Cinco Stinko last night from Ronald Acuna of all people. I mean, just against like Tyler Anderson. What world of the upside down did I fall into where Ronald Acuna can't hit Tyler Anderson? I don't understand. I just don't get it. It's one of those baseball anomalies where you get a guy who's like so great and a guy who's so bad, and you're like, why can't this guy hit this guy? I don't understand, or vice versa. Like, why does this hitter, who's terrible, so good against Tariq Skubal? Like, I don't.
He is a golden sombrero, right? The 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts.
It's a golden sombrero. So,
but we need the Stinko. And if we get one more, we need to go back and remember who they were, and we need to have like we should do this for next season, a collective graphic. No, just like a poster board, like a poster board. Every time we get one, we put it up on our poster board. Here's like the Stinko. Like
a vision board.
Yeah, or like a vision board, 100%.
Nice corkboard. All right, Laser Sharp has a question. I have Woodruff coming off the IL. Sure you do. Do I drop Sandy Alcantara, not Edward Cabrera, not Jacob Mizorowski, not Clark Schmidt, or do I just drop Woodruff? I think the question is Sandy Alcantara or Woodruff rest of season.
Oh man. Sandy just he broke bad again. He's our breaking bad.
I'm taking my chances with Woodruff.
I mean, he's gonna he's the final destination of pitchers, by the way. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna drive to the park and the 2x4s are gonna fall off of a truck and it's gonna take his tires out. Like I still am holding out this hope that Sandy is gonna go to a team. It could be a team like the Mets or something, and they could fix it and he could be good. I just don't know if Woodruff is any better of a bet than Sandy right now, but I think you can make either one of them. You know what I might do? Maybe as soon as he gets activated and pitches, maybe you can hold him on the IL and see what happens to Woodruff. See what type of ridiculous disaster Final Destination has for him.
Should the Braves trade Michael Harris? I was just thinking about that because they have Profar coming back. Profar doesn't help anybody because he can't play in the playoffs. So no contender's going to want him in a deal. But I wonder if Michael Harris, somebody might kick the tires on him. That might be interesting.
I think just age and control. And I mean, they don't hate him as much as you hate him. So I doubt they would consider it.
No one does. They don't hate him. I'm just realistic about him. See, the difference. The difference between truth-telling and just because it's truth-telling that people don't want to hear, they think it's negative. It's just honesty. Honesty is my brand, Welsh. Mm-hmm. Big Gene. What's up, fellas? I have Trout, Adele, and Ward. Hello. So I'm looking to flip one for a starting pitcher. Best offer I have gotten is Ward or Adele for Reese Olson. What do you think? Ward for Reese Olson is not terrible.
Definitely not trade. I want to pull up
Not
Olsen.
Adele. Reese Olson's working his way back.
Yeah, hell no, am I trading
But Taylor
Joe
Ward
Adele
went on a
right now
home
for
run
that.
spree, but he's not that good. I would do that deal.
Yeah, Reese Olson too. 2.96 ERA. Expected looks
solid.
good. Good strikeouts. He's been walking a little bit more. I know he missed some time because he's only up to like 50 innings right now, and he's not even pitching. Like, what is his injury status in? Because he hasn't pitched this month. So
he made a rehab start. We just talked about it yesterday. I think it was just yesterday or Monday. He made a rehab start. And shout out to Big Gene, first time here. Big Gene,
right.
come subscribe to the channel here. First time asking a question, so we appreciate you.
They're saying Friday. Reese Olson will be there Friday.
Yeah, I knew it was like I think it was Monday or Sunday.
Yeah, Taylor Ward for him.
I talked about it on the show. Solid. I think it was on Monday over the weekend is when he made his start. I think that's what it was. So there you go. CC always on top of things. Let's talk about some sleepers here, good and bad. Matthew Boyd going into the year was one of my sleepers from the Black Book. 2 runs, 5 hits, 7 innings. He's been terrific. His 8th victory of the year. He's really held things down in that rotation. He's been a rock in that Cubs rotation with Steele out, with Imanaga out. Matthew Boyd's been very reliable and very quietly so. I just wonder what he's going to look like when he crosses the 100 innings threshold. And then Gavin Williams, another sleeper, has not been so good. 5 2/3, 7 hits, 4 runs. So again, just same old for Gavin Williams. And same old for Paul Skenes, our last headline. 5 scoreless innings, 5 strikeouts against the Cardinals. The velo's there. But yeah, he came out with 88 pitches. Now he's 4-7 with a 2.03 ERA. This is what it was like for Jacob deGrom back in the day with the Mets, too, when they just would not score and he couldn't get a win. And, he would have a 1.24 ERA. And his record would be like 2-4. It was just
this is his deGrom season. And I can't get over it. Like, I know it is what it is, but like we have minus money on a pitcher that has 4 wins on one of the worst teams in baseball. It's just an uphill battle when you look at that like Cy Young award win. Not that like fantasy people really care about that, but it's frustrating for Paul Skenes because he's not going deep and he's not getting wins. And in the betting market, you just look at a player that's minus money with all those guys ahead. It's an uphill battle when guys like Zach Wheeler are good. You talk about Yamamoto has been really good. There's too much weird parity in it for a guy like him to be minus money. They should all probably be plus money. Now he could rattle off 10 wins and put together a really good season, but this Pirates team sucks, man. And they cannot score runs. They cannot get him a lead and they cannot hold a lead. It's actually crazy. Over under, I know we did this like last week, just checking back on it. Over under 9.5 wins.
I'm still saying under.
Okay.
I don't think he gets to double digits there. I think he ends up with 9, which is really, really sad. And remember, they're going to sell more pieces. So Brian Reynolds will be gone, and God knows what else. Bednar will be gone. So even if he has a lead, they're going to blow it in the 9th inning. It's going to be a disaster. It's a huge ecosystems. Go look right now. Go get your football black book. Okay, it's right here behind me. Go get it on Amazon. Do a whole thing about the ecosystems in the NFL and what they mean for your fantasy team. And my hope is to do a baseball version of it next year. But part of it is understanding the bullpens, understanding the second half situations of teams that are buyers and sellers, understanding the pitching coach, the understanding all of that stuff. That talent is great, but circumstances are important to help talent live up to their potential. And I think that's something that we just pass over too much. By the way, there's one team that never have a 20-game winner. Want to guess who it is?
Never had a 20-game winner.
One team has never had a 20-game winner.
I'm not going to get this right at all. Let's go with the Rangers.
No,
that's the dumbest one ever. Rockies.
The Rangers' last guy was Rick Helling in 1998. The Rockies is correct.
Oh, really? I thought I was wrong because Ubaldo Jimenez. Remember Ubaldo Jimenez's crazy year he had?
I do too. It was one of the things that got me into fantasy. Like one of the first things I wrote that got me into, like, it got picked up by AP or something. That about Ubaldo Jimenez, and I was like, oh my God, I can write about fantasy sports. Look at me.
This is so cool.
I thought it was Ubaldo too, but it's not.
I thought Ubaldo would have got it. So yeah, that was, I think he had like 18 wins and it was a crazy ERA. By the way, while you're looking that up, a little, not like crazy breaking news, but the Braves just designated Alex Verdugo for assignment to activate Jerks and Profar. So Verdugo gone, see a peace out, and Profar is back up. So
19-8.
Okay.
Ubaldo in 2010.
What was his ERA?
2.88.
Doing that in Colorado
this year with 214 strikeouts. He walked 92 guys.
But dude,
21 innings.
The youngins don't know how great it was to have Ubaldo Jimenez out there.
Fun.
He was just beloved in fantasy.
It was. He was all-star. He was terrific. What were his splits, too? I'm curious to see. So at home, he had a 3.19 ERA in Colorado, 2.63 on the road that year. He was terrific. He lasted a long time, too. Looking at this, like, he, had Cleveland, Baltimore.
He faded off.
Baltimore. He did fade off. But he played 12 years in the major leagues as a pitcher, half of them in Colorado. That's nothing to sneeze at.
Crazy.
Diamondbacks, first base / outfielder Trey Mancini opted out of his minor league contract. I thought this was kind of weird timing considering it's July, but maybe not. So Mancini's going to go out in the open market, and he was hitting 308, 373, 522 in the PCL with 16 homers. Look, Trey Mancini once upon a time was a good major league player. He had cancer. It took him a long time to come back, bounced around a little bit. But I think he could help a team. I would not be shocked for him to catch on somewhere else. I'm just kind of surprised that the Diamondbacks were like, hey, we might trade Josh Naylor in a couple weeks. Maybe you want to stick around. You might be able to help out the team. I just thought this was a little odd. So keep an eye on that one. Also, rookie Emmett Sheehan could start Sunday for the Astros. So if he's on your waiver wire, pick him up now. Start him against, what did I say?
You meant you said again. You meant against the Astros. You just said for the Astros.
Against the Astros for the Dodgers. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Either way, start him. That's what you want to do. Let's get to the ups and downs. Randy Arozarena stays hot, man. How hot has Randy Arozarena been lately? 2 for 4 with a solo homer. Those Mariners are hitting the ball. Hunter Goodman, 2 for 4, 2 solo homers, and his return also recently from injury. And on Canada Day, George Springer, 2 home runs, including a grand slam. Pretty cool. The downs, Max Fried, finally a down, 4 runs in 6 innings. Not invincible against the Blue Jays. These are 2 big wins back-to-back days for the Blue Jays against the Yankees. Emerson Hancock, 5 runs, 1 strikeout in 6 innings against the Royals. And Chase Dollander, 6 runs, 1 strikeout in 2 2/3. All right, let's get to the injuries because there's a lot of important stuff to get to here. And the first one is Yordan Alvarez has been shut down after experiencing renewed soreness. I think it's time to stick a fork in Alvarez. The question is, how do the Astros react? Because they have to. They have to get another bat now somewhere in the trade market. Who do you think it is? And is Alvarez being toast potentially this year mean that the Astros might fade here when we get to July, August, September?
It's all good questions. If they were like the Braves right now, I think they'd be selling off, but they're not. They're division leader. They've still got some of their pitch. I think they're a weird team. I think they're a super weird. I actually think they could lose this division. I think they've got a weird collective of pieces. They don't have the best minor league system. So they're going to have to, the thing that works well for them is they would have to trade assets because all these assets are close to the majors. They're all like AAA-ish type of guys. So but they don't have a lot of pitching. So you'd have to take a guy or two. What I think this team ends up doing is they make like a smaller-ish trade if they do it. They pick up a smaller guy.
They don't have a lot of pitching. I don't know about that.
In the minor leagues.
Well, but they've also got Garcia coming back, Javier coming back, Arrieta coming back. I'm not saying they want to trade one of those guys, but they could. Like if you're the Baltimore Orioles, would you take Christian Javier coming back from Tommy John next year for O'Hearn and Mullins?
Maybe, but that's a possibility. Like a major league help now. Yeah, that's actually, that's actually
the Baltimore Orioles want to compete next year. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm looking at. Like I think Ryan O'Hearn is the cap of the type of player that they can get, and I think it's a 1. He might not be the best because it's like Alvarez probably has to come back in DH, so they need someone to make sure that they're in game. They might need an outfield, but I think that's the type. I think they'll unless this is even worse. Which by the way, the Astros are like wild big fat liars. You got Jeremy Pena, who they're like, it's a small fracture. God knows with how much they have not been truthful.
Honest?
I know with how untruthful they've been. Jeremy Pena could be out for the season. We don't really know what Alvarez is. I think they're in a weird spot that maybe they make a small move. I think this division is like gettable across the board, but I don't think they can make a giant move like you would try to speculate on. I think Ryan O'Hearn is a really good name.
I think you take a shot on Robert if you're them, because it's dirt cheap probably at this point, and the White Sox probably just want out.
It's actually a pretty interesting name.
Like, he fills the outfield bug there. I just don't think you're gonna get maybe you just get Robert out of Chicago, like just get him out of Chicago and see what happens. It's
actually a really good fit, by the way. The more that you say that, just because that's where they probably want to fill from. And maybe I think they might need some shortstop help too with Pena if he's down for a little bit. But like you could probably give the White Sox just one of like a Jacob Melton or a Shea Whitcomb or just one of those like AAA
Whitcomb
guys.
would be perfect, right?
Yeah.
They just brought him up right this week.
Yeah, they've given all those guys like a little bit of little look, so that's actually a pretty decent one.
All right, as Welsh mentioned earlier, Chris Sale goes to the 60-day IL. It's procedural, but it also tells you like the latter part of August is when you're getting him back. So this is crushing. He was so good, Welsh, after a bad April. He was so good. I tell you, he really had a shot at the Cy Young again. That's how good he was.
They gave us deGrom, and they took Sale away. Both can't live in the same sphere. It's a Highlander situation with those two.
There can be only one. Royce Lewis had a double and 3 at-bats at his return from the injury list yesterday. Tyler Glasnow is going to make another start tomorrow, and he's targeting 75 pitches, 5 innings. That's what they're targeting. That's what they're hoping for. And he could potentially be his final one before returning next week for the Dodgers. So faster than we thought. We thought it might be 2 more rehab starts. I'm not surprised. They're trying to get him back up to the big leagues. Let's hope the velocity is good. Let's hope he looks good in this one. Let's hope for 75 pitches in 5 innings and it actually works out. Blake Snell is scheduled to face hitters today in live BP. We'll see how that goes. Remember, Wednesday, we always have our live stream. Joe Rico is joining the Welsh today on the YouTube channel, 4 o'clock Eastern, to take your questions because I am going to the beach for July 4th and having some fun. Grayson Rodriguez threw a bullpen session on Tuesday, if you're still looking forward to him coming back. Ezekiel Tovar progressed to hitting off of just batting practice, and then Rafael Devers has been playing through groin and back tightness. And Josh Naylor continues to struggle with that neck issue, keeping him off the field. And as everybody said in the chat a million times, Brandon Woodruff, which is funny because now it has so many ailments, like when you see like a player and it's like, this guy, oblique, in parentheses. Like, now it's Brandon Woodruff, shoulder, ankle, elbow. So many things are wrong with him. Well, Sunday, he's going to make his debut. That debut against the Marlins. So, Welsh, you're going to start him against the Marlins. First start out, huh? You're going to take that shot? You're going to let him run ride? Come on, what are you going to do?
That's a start that I'm kind of interested in. You know what? I think I will. He's had 400 starts to train for this day. So I don't care if they're minor league or not. I think he's ready.
Oh, God, Brandon.
He's going to get hit by a seagull. Some seagull is going to just like fly into his face and he's going to go on the IL. It's going to be something crazy that happens.
BD says Brandon Woodruff, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Knees and toes. That's kind of what it looks like. Oh, but don't worry, Brandon Woodruff. I'm sure at some point something will go wrong. And then when it does, I'll be waiting for you, Brandon Woodruff. I'll be waiting for you back in rehab. Come back to us, Brandon. It's safe and warm here in rehab. We have lots of towels and blankets and ice packs for your many ailments. Whatever ails you, Brandon Woodruff, no matter. Rehab is the place you will return to. Enjoy your start in the major leagues because someday again soon you'll be back. You'll be back. No one escapes rehab for long.
You know what we need? Did you ever see the movie? Is a horror movie called Drag Me to Hell. It was like a Sam Raimi. We need I
don't like horror movies.
Oh, I watch them all. There's the artwork where like the girl is being pulled down. We need that and Brandon Woodruff's face on it, and it's Drag Me Back to Rehab. That's what I need. AI, please.
Shout out to Cookie Chubbs, who just resubbed with Prime, and also to Thotimus Prime, who contributed 10 channel points. Hey, I said that right. Why are you laughing at me?
Just the name.
You're going to have to do this when I'm gone.
No, you did great. You're doing great, sweetheart.
They called me Joel DeMort. All right, let's get to the best bets
of the day.
With Joey P and the Welsh. My bet got rained out yesterday with the Mets playing doubleheader today, but I get to watch Mizorowski. That's fun, right? Sort of, kind of. It's fun because they'll make me money, hopefully. But Mets are in a bad spot. They got Peralta today and Mizorowski. So instead, let's pivot. We're just pivoting away from games. Instead, we're going for a big strikeout day. Hunter Brown, over 6.5 strikeouts. Let's start there. Hunter Brown's been great this year. He's got the Colorado Rockies, and you know what that means? Big-time strikeouts. Let's go over there. Logan Gilbert, 6.5 strikeouts, plus 104 against the Kansas City Royals. So we're going to take the over there. And the over for Clayton Kershaw, just 4.5 against the lowly White Sox at minus 128. So those are my 3 bets all K-props, all day today on Wednesday. Welsh, what do you have for the people?
I'm with you on the Hunter Brown one. That one just jumps out for everybody. So get on that before any of those numbers move. Colorado Rockies stink. So Hunter Brown over 6.5 strikeouts for show. San Diego in game 1. I like the first 5 money line. That is Nick Pivetta. So I'm backing Nick Pivetta. So just straight up money line. It's a tiny bit juice, but I really like that number, especially that we're not playing the run line. I am going to play a run line, but it's a no-run first inning in the second game, San Diego Philly, where I believe that is Cease and Chris Sanchez holding it down for the first inning. So Nerfy in game 2 of San Diego Philly, San Diego first 5 money line in game 1, and Hunter Brown strikeouts. Those are my best bets, pulling it back after a bad day yesterday, betting against Gallen. Gallen got me, so let's get it back today.
All right, everybody, don't forget, bet $5, win $250 over on FanDuel. When you go to fantasypros.com/leadingoff, that's the place to be. Again, that's fantasypros.com/leadingoff. And of course, you can download the Betting Pros app, use the tools, and get the premium tools for 7 free days. Only at Betting Pros when you use that promo code leading off. Bet smarter, not harder with Betting Pros. All right, let's get to the home run calls today. I was, again, no good. Still 25 is the number. We're still behind. George is at 37. George's starting to run away with it, folks. Whips, Beasy, far out, Marty. Come on, make it a race. Let's go. Sammy Sosa jersey up for grabs, of course. You can join our Discord to go put your home run calls in. Sosa jersey from pristineauction.com. Welsh, I'm going to be out the next couple days. So I'm taking my dear friend Shohei Ohtani in perpetuity for today. Throughout the weekend, I know he's pitching Sunday, but he can also hit because Major League Baseball makes special rules for special people. And he's my special boy. He's my special boy. Where are you going for your home run call today, Welsh?
Isn't it cool that he can get both stats in one game in real baseball, but we can't in fantasy? You have to start him at one spot. You don't get both. You don't get both.
Don't get me started about that. You know, it's funny because one of the things I hate, or a couple things I hate in fantasy football. One is tight end premium, and the other thing
I'm also not a fan of tight end premium.
So dumb. And then the other thing is third round reversal. Third round reversal started because at one point in time, LaDainian Tomlinson was so good and so much better than everybody else that if you had him, it was like having 2 players. So they created this thing called the third round reversal. But it doesn't make any sense anymore. It's stupid. You shouldn't have it anymore because nobody's like that.
Well, and it's relevant in baseball. Yeah, exactly.
Ohtani's the one guy where you can actually make an argument that a third round reversal is smart because when you have Ohtani, it is having literally 2 players now, you know, when he's healthy. So that's it. I just wanted to.
But I still think I agree with you on all those. I think third round reversal is stupid. I think tight end premium is stupid.
Do you think having him split his 2 players is still stupid?
The dumbest thing on the planet, the dumbest thing ever is having him 2 separate players and not making him one is insanely stupid.
And like, if you take Ohtani, someone should get their second pick. Like, how do you penalize that?
What do you mean?
You want to keep fairness in the league. Let's say you don't want to do a third round reversal, but you have Shohei Ohtani.
Okay.
And he is this unicorn player, right? He's a pitcher, he's a hitter, he's dominant at both. Arguably the best hitter in the league on top of one of the top 15 pitchers in the league. So how do you penalize the person or make it fair for the rest of the league? If somebody has the 1 pick and they take Ohtani, sure, there's risk, but it's also like you're getting 2 players in one. So would you take away, say, the third round pick or whatever the value of Ohtani, the quote unquote pitcher, would be? Like, as like a fairness to say, like, well, no, getting points or getting stats from 2 guys, like, it's not really fair for the rest of the league.
Well, it only works like that in a daily league. In a weekly league, you really never use Ohtani as a pitcher. He's just a hitter. It's just a cool little.
In my weekly league, you use him as both. He accrues points for both.
Oh yeah, see, I don't play like that, and that's where I was gonna say, if no matter where he is, he accrues both. Regardless, that's a different discussion. I think the third round reversal, if you need fairness, you don't take a pick away from someone.
The second pick overall. They're like, man, I don't get Ohtani and I don't get to pick her again. Like,
that is true. It's all.
I don't feel like that's fair either.
Really, just do the whole thing normal. But it would be nice if like you didn't have to switch them between positions. But that's baseball for you. Elly De La Cruz is where I'm going to go. By the way, I'm just going to go with Elly of the De La Cruzes, and that'll be my home run call today because I don't have to do a perpetuity until tomorrow, where we are off Friday, and Joe's off in perpetuity right now.
I'll be back on Monday. Can't wait, especially coming off the Brandon Woodruff start on Sunday, if he actually gets to it.
The start, quote unquote.
The start, quote unquote, the start. Also, sad day for the show. I didn't know this, but apparently Kaisertrex is no more. No more Kaisertrex reads. Just in time for me to leave in, end of the month, where Welsh I thought was going to have to do one.
I did one or two where you were gone, I believe. I think I know I did.
When I was in Arizona, I think you probably did.
I think I did two. I think I've done two so far this year. Yeah. But I won't do anymore.
Experience it. So it's a bummer, but what are you going to do? So all those side effects, at least for now, are gone. Maybe next year they'll return. You never know. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on for the Welsh. I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Going to the beach. I put some lotion on my bald head.
Oh, glad you said your bald head.
Well, well, it is a nude beach, so I guess I should just put the lotion everywhere.
Where's a tsunami?